What's up, you guys? MC here. I've been wanting to bring you guys a video showing you some of my favorite knives under $100. That's kind of where I mostly live and play in this hobby, is under that $100 mark. There's a lot of great stuff over $100, but there's also a lot of great stuff under $100. And I picked these because they're all really good knives, and they're knives you can get your hands on. One thing that really frustrates me is when I see a video or a picture of a knife, and no matter the price, even in this budget range, they do it. It was a special limited drop, or I just can't get them, or I have to go to the secondary market and pay an exorbitant price for it. So I want to bring you some knives from my collection that I really enjoy under that $100 mark, since that's where a lot of us protect as the budget barrier. And you can get all these somewhere, and I'll put links to each knife in the description before I post. This one I just got recently, and I've been carrying to work. This is the Kansept Model 6. Now, this does come in premium versions. I have it in fat carbon premium version, but this particular one is micarta and 154 cm. And for their micarta and 154 cm, now Kansept kind of plays in that's Kaiser's territory, that micarta and 154 cm. But Kansept does a really nice job, and this is a really nice knife, I think. The ergos are really good. The blade shape is fantastic. I don't typically do black wash blades, but all the micarta versions, I didn't like the other micarta colorways on the handles, so I went with this one, and I got the fat carbon for the satin finish, or the stonewash finish rather. Two methods of deployment on this guy. You've got a push button flipper tab, and he is nice, and he's nice and low profile. So that, I like that. I don't like flipper tabs usually. And of course you've got this reverse flick hole, thumb hole, whatever they call it. Really nice blade. This is a Nick Swan design. Pocket clip is where this one kind of struggles. Mushroom screws, and it's not flush. Not the end of the world, but it could have been done better. If it makes you feel better, it's done that way on the more expensive fat carbon one too. So, big lanyard track there. I'm not sure why they did that, but not too heavy. Nice action on it. The liner lock, easy access there. Medium grip micarta, maybe a little on the high side of medium, but it's not a pocket shredder. So this is the Kansept Model 6. They're around $75, but if you can get to White Mountain and you can find one you like there, of course you'll get that 10% off if you use any of their codes, okay? Now, let's move on from that one. I've talked about this one so many times. You guys are probably sick of it, but I'm going to show it to you again in case you haven't seen it. This is the Orion Knives Cetus. And this is a fantastic knife. And I think they're on sale for under $50. But we'll double check it, and I'll post it up here if that's not true. Beautiful stone wash on this blade. I really like that. Nice jimping there. Comfortable handle. I really like knives with this curved aesthetic. That really speaks to me. And this one, like, they did so many good things on this knife for the price. There's a 14C 28N blade there. And you can get it, that flipper tab. The flipper tab action isn't dynamic, but that's okay. It's because of the length of that blade and all that, but this fuller, man, you can hit that fuller like crazy. And you can get it anywhere up and down that fuller. It's all really good. Of course, that hole works really well. I can get it with my thumb, and I bump the camera. Gotta do it once per video, you guys. Now, that backspacer is really nice. They actually send you 2 pocket clips with this one. So if you're a lefty, you get your own pocket clip that fits this side, so it maintains that shape. Now, one thing that's really cool about this one, it's a frame lock that acts like a liner lock. I don't always love frame locks because hand positioning sometimes has to be too unique or too specific. This one here gives you the benefit and the safety of that frame lock, but with the convenience of a liner lock. And it's just, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't love the blade shape either, but the knife itself is done so well, and it's such a unique experience for a knife. I can overlook it, especially for 45 bucks. So this is the Orion Knife Cetus. I'm going to put links to that one in the description as well. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. This one gets overlooked a lot too, guys, just because I know everybody's sprung on button locks right now. And this one does come in a button lock also. This is the CJRB Echo. I like button locks. I don't love button locks. I like to fidget with them and play with them, but usually when it's time to carry a knife, I'm still partial to a liner lock. And I know that pyrite is just a killer, but this is the CJRB Echo. That blade shape is fantastic. It's Ray Laconico. I really like his design language, the stuff he does. It's really, really ergonomic. It's nice. That swedge is nice. AR RPM 9 steel, of course, from Arson Cutlery CJRB. Front flipper does beautifully. Reverse flick is even better. Thumb flick is still really good, and that's rare that I can get my chubby thumb into these freaking things. But this one is done well. They did it for a budget knife. They did a killer job on the pocket clip. The pocket clip is flush. No mushroom head screws. And CJRB's secret, I don't know if you can see it, hidden lanyard hole in this standoff right here. But the blade shape is fantastic. The ergos are fantastic. The action is fantastic. This is another one that just, it kind of fell behind. It got lost in the shuffle with all those different pyrites and the button lock of its own self. But don't overlook this liner lock if you like this blade shape and you like this knife. I think the liner lock is a much better EDC than the button lock. Okay. Now, we're going to get to some other stuff. I should have unboxed all these and making you guys sit through this. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. This is the Beyond EDC Geo Folder. If you haven't been to Beyond EDC's website, you should go. They have some really, really cool stuff. Now, this is the most exotic by far. And I know the first thing you're thinking is that's going to be a pocket spike. It's not too bad, honestly. Like, I haven't gotten gouged with it, so I've seen worse. But the knife, man, the knife is just cool. Okay, so look at that. Let's set it down. You don't need my hands in the way. That's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. So cool. It's VG10 steel. Not the best, not the worst. This is two-tone G10 here on the scales. Reversible pocket clip. That's beautiful. There's a lanyard hole there. Pocket clip could have been done better. Could have been done worse. But man, the action. Do you hear that? For a blade that's kind of light and kind of spiky, that thing just slams open for you. Now, this one here, I can get that. Only problem with that is I do hit my back finger sometimes. Now, I got a message from the designer when I did another video about this. This is also a glass breaker. So it's not just pretty. If someone gets trapped in a car and this is all you got, you can bust their windshield out. Alright, so this is the Beyond EDC Geo Folder. And even if you don't like this one, take a look at Beyond EDC. They've got some great stuff. I think these are 60 bucks, but I think they have a sale right now too that would get you this for a stellar price. It also comes in OD green, which everything comes in OD green because that's all we know how to make now. Okay, now I'm just complaining. Sorry, guys. This, I know what this guy is. This is the first Kizer, and things are falling. This is the first Kizer I bought in some time. I'm only going to gripe for a minute about Kizer. This is the Sparrow. Kizer kind of got into a rut for me because it seemed like for 6-8 months there, all Kizer wanted to make was Feist and sheepdogs and a few cormorants and originals. They picked like 4 knives and just rotated and spammed variants. If that's what people are buying, so be it. So I kind of cooled off on them. This one here brought me back. This is the Sparrow. Now they do have a version without this. If you think this looks kind of corny, I don't blame you. It's different. It's kind of cool to me, but I can understand why you wouldn't like it. Okay, this is another Kizer's territory. My Cardin 154 CM. It's a liner lock, reversible pocket clip, lanyard hole. Really nice micarta too. Like you can feel this, but it's not gritty. Like it gives you that texture that you like. Some of them are really smooth. Like this one, the Ray Laconico, that's pretty smooth micarta. This one definitely has texture if you prefer that. Really low profile flipper. That makes me happy. I love this blade. And of course, let's try the flick hole. Oh yeah. So that works perfectly. I can get my thumb in there and do it. If I can get my thumb in there and flick it, that's pretty impressive. I don't usually deploy my knives that way, but I got a chubby thumb and a short thumb, which is like a double whammy on those flick holes. So if I can get it, you definitely should be able to. Don't quote me, but I think these are $80. They might be a little cheaper or a little more expensive, but there's two variants right now. I wish they would make a stone wash that's not this coated, but who knows what's coming down the road. Anyway, this is the Kizer Sparrow. It's another great one from Kizer, and Kizer rarely puts out a bad knife. Like they put out knives I don't love sometimes, but very rarely does Kizer just put out a bad knife. The only one I've ever had that I really was just like, no, was the Feist, and that's because my big fat hands didn't like it. Now the star of the show. This is the Vosteed Nightshade. The beautiful thing about this one, now mine's a blue or a purple G10 and 154 CM. Now I will tell you this: if you go to get one now, a lot of them are Nitro V. I don't know if so. If you buy from a website like Atlantic Knife or somebody like that, they might still have the 154. You might get Nitro V. So if you buy one, it's probably worth emailing the vendor and asking them what they have in stock, because you could get either one if you have a preference. If you don't care, you don't care. But I would ask the question if you do care. They might have some older 154 still hanging around. They might only have Nitro V. Okay. The best thing about this one is you can get it in with just a flipper tab, okay? You can get it with just thumb studs, or you can get it with just this thumb hole. I like the thumb hole. I will say the thumb stud has the best action. I don't like the flipper tab because to me, the flipper tab busts this beautiful aesthetic. All these nice curves going around, and the flipper tab kind of breaks that symmetry for me. Now, a lot of people love flipper tabs. That's okay. There are some premium versions out there in LMAX and stuff like that, and they're going to keep making more. They also make a mini one, but this is my favorite line of knives right now. I love the blade shape. The ergos are just fantastic. This is Yudong. It's the same guy who made the Cormorant and so many other great knives. And even if you don't like this Nightshade, which this purple one, I don't know if this purple is available, but you can get them in some micartas, some G10s, some stone wash blades, black wash blades, some different blade styles also. So they are out there. Even if you don't love this one, Vosteed makes some killer knives. Like everyone I've ever touched is great. I have the Bellamy, which is fantastic and underrated. I have the Corgi. I have the Valkyrie. I have a Grind. I have the Raccoon Cleaver Blade. They're just every knife is good, and they just pay attention to details, and they're just like their Facebook group is good because he's in there, and people who have daily involvement with the knives are in there. So if you haven't checked out Vasty, check them out. This is the Nightshade. It's by far my favorite EDC and line of EDCs. And the great thing is, like I said, there's something for everybody. So I'm going to put a link to all these in the description for you guys, so you can check them out. The prices kind of vary a little bit, but they're all under $100. They're all available, and it's just one great knife after the next. And if you check them out, I'm sure you'll like one of these. If you guys have any questions other than why do I always bump the camera, let me know. I'm here to answer them. I am MC. These are my favorite EDCs under $100. Talk to you soon, guys.